Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Savannah Chrisley begs fans to show up for appeals hearing. Chrisley knows best. Critics mock Savannah Chrisley, who fights hard for her mom and dad, Todd and Julie Chrisley's appeal. However, there are plenty of loyal fans who support the family, so she called on them to attend the hearing scheduled for April. Initially, it was pushed back to April 15, and now it looks like it will happen on April 19. Savannah Chrisley supports her mom and dad's appeal. While it seems that a lot of people enjoy themselves snarking and giggling about Todd and Julie's prison sentences, it seems that they have a very good chance of a successful appeal. Most Chrisley Knows Best fans are aware that one point raised for the appeal involved an unlawful search, so critics assume that the family hopes to get their parents out on a technicality. Notably, the claim of an unlawful search is very significant, and in fact, the chances of being granted an appeal to have oral arguments is extremely rare. Savannah Chrisley's mom and dad were exonerated in a case brought against them by the state of Georgia during their trial that wasn't made clear to the jury, and an allegedly incorrect statement by an IRS officer could have influenced the guilty verdict. Did you know the couple won a settlement of $1 million in Georgia? Chrisley Knows Best fans asked to step up. Todd and Julie's son, Chase, shared his sister's appeal via her Unlocked podcast screenshot for show fans to sit in on the hearing. Soon, the invite by Savannah Chrisley for fans to join them during the hearing made its way to Reddit. The poster noted that the date seemed to have changed for the hearing. Most of the comments were nasty, but not everyone is a trained attorney. Opinions are allowed, but some people reasoned that a whole bunch of onlookers in court might annoy the judges. That would not work in your favor, having random strangers fill the courtroom. The judges would not care and honestly find it annoying. Savannah Chrisley and lawyer Alex Little discussed the grounds for the appeal on the Unlocked podcast a few days ago. If you'd like to find out the details based on the defense, it might be worth your time listening to it. The Georgia sun filtered through the large windows of the Chrisley family's Nashville home. Savannah Chrisley paced the living room, her phone glued to her hand, anxiety etched across her face. The upcoming appeals hearing for her parents, Todd and Julie Chrisley, loomed like an ominous cloud. The legal battles had dragged on for years, but this was the moment, potentially the last chance to fight the convictions that had shattered their family and splintered their reality. Savannah sat down at the kitchen table, her laptop open in front of her. She hesitated for a moment, chewing her bottom lip as her finger hovered over the record button. She was about to go live on Instagram, a plea to her millions of followers, asking for support in a way that felt both desperate and vulnerable. "Hey guys," Savannah began, her voice steady but her eyes brimming with unshed tears. "I know this isn't the kind of content you're used to seeing from me. Normally, I'm sharing my skincare routines or funny moments with Chloe and Grayson, but today is different. Today, I'm asking for your help." She paused, letting the weight of her words settle in. "My parents, Todd and Julie, are facing something unimaginable. The system has turned our world upside down, and now more than ever, we need you, our Chrisley family, to stand with us. Their appeals hearing is coming up, and it's critical. If you've ever supported us, if you've ever laughed with us, if you've ever felt like you're part of our story, please come to the hearing. Let them see that Todd and Julie Chrisley aren't just names in a case. They're parents, grandparents, and beloved members of a community that cares deeply about them." As Savannah's words poured out, the comments flooded in. Messages of support mingled with the occasional snarky remark from trolls. But Savannah stayed focused, pouring every ounce of sincerity into her appeal. "This isn't just about my parents," she continued. "It's about standing up against injustice, about showing that love and loyalty can still matter in a world where it feels like it's every person for themselves. So I'm asking you to show up, not just physically if you're in the area, but emotionally, spiritually. Pray for us. Send good energy our way, and if you can be there in person, please do. We need to pack that courtroom with love." When Savannah ended the livestream, she let out a shaky breath. Chloe, her 10-year-old sister, wandered into the kitchen, holding a drawing she'd been working on. "What's that, Chloe?" Savannah asked, grateful for the distraction. "It's a picture of our family," Chloe said, handing it over. The crayon drawing depicted Todd, Julie, Savannah, Grayson, and Chloe all holding hands under a bright yellow sun. Do you think we'll all be together again soon? Savannah swallowed the lump in her throat. I hope so, sweet girl, that's what we're fighting for. The day of the hearing arrived, and Savannah was overwhelmed by the turnout. A line of supporters stretched down the courthouse steps, many of them holding signs that read messages like "Justice for Todd and Julie and Chrisley family forever." Savannah, dressed in a tailored black suit, stepped out of the car with Chloe and Grayson by her side. Reporters swarmed, cameras flashing and microphones thrust forward. Savannah, do you think the appeal will be successful? How are Todd and Julie holding up? Is this just a PR stunt to save face? Savannah ignored the barrage of questions, focusing instead on the sea of familiar and unfamiliar faces who had come to stand with her family. She made her way to the courthouse steps, turning to address the crowd. Thank you all for being here, she said, her voice amplified by a portable microphone. Your presence means everything to us. It's not just about showing support. It's about sending a message that people deserve a fair chance. My parents are good people who have always put family first, and we're here today to fight for them. Thank you for standing with us in this battle. The crowd erupted in applause, and Savannah's heart swelled with gratitude. Inside the courtroom, the atmosphere was tense. Todd and Julie sat at the defense table, their faces a mixture of hope and apprehension. Todd caught Savannah's eye and gave her a small, reassuring nod. As the hearing progressed, the defense team presented their arguments with fervor, outlining procedural errors and questionable evidence that had tainted the original trial. Savannah clutched a tissue, her knuckles white as she listened intently. Every word felt like a lifeline. During a recess, Savannah stepped outside to update the supporters gathered on the courthouse lawn. They're doing everything they can, she told the crowd. The truth will come out. It has to. An elderly woman in the crowd stepped forward and handed Savannah a small wooden cross. Keep the faith, honey, the woman said. God's got this. By the end of the day, the judge announced that a decision on the appeal would be made within the week. Savannah felt a mix of relief and dread. They hadn't been dismissed outright, but the waiting would be excruciating. As the family exited the courthouse, the crowd erupted into cheers of encouragement. Todd and Julie paused to wave, their expressions grateful but weary. Back at home that evening, Savannah sat down with her siblings to reflect on the day. Do you think it worked? Grayson asked, his voice small. Savannah wrapped an arm around him. I don't know, buddy. But no matter what happens, we'll get through it together. We've got each other, and we've got all those amazing people out there rooting for us. Chloe climbed into Savannah's lap, holding her drawing from earlier. Maybe you should give this to the judge, she suggested. Savannah laughed softly. I think it might just be the thing to tip the scales in our favor. As the night wore on, Savannah felt a glimmer of hope. No matter what the outcome, she knew they weren't alone in this fight. The Chrisley family had always been resilient, and this was no exception. With faith, love, and the unwavering support of their fans, they would face whatever came next, together.